The Zone of Silence in northern Mexico is a mysterious place unlike anywhere else. Within its borders, the natural world seems to operate by unknown rules. Reality takes on a dreamlike, surreal quality, and an unseen presence lingers around every turn. What really occurs in this enigmatic region, known only as the Zone of Silence? Join me as we explore its borders to uncover the secrets it holds. Located approximately 400 miles south of El Paso, Texas, in the northern desert region of Mexico, lies a place known as the Zone of Silence, which has long been associated with strange phenomenon. Ever since the first explorers ventured into this unforgiving landscape, unusual stories and legends have emerged from the area. In the mid-19th century, local farmers would describe bizarre occurrences, like searing hot pebbles mysteriously falling from clear skies. They also noticed mutations and deformities in the native plants and animals. Spending prolonged time in the Zone of Silence can reportedly cause feelings of dread or visual and auditory hallucinations. Many have gone missing there as well, as it's easy to become disoriented. Prolonged exposure may even impact one's sense of reality and orientation. One of the earliest documented cases involved a Mexican pilot named Francisco Sarabia in the 1930s. As he flew over the region, his plane's instruments malfunctioned and his radio cut out, bringing greater attention to the unusual qualities of this place, now known as the Zone of Silence. In the 1970s, an incident further highlighted the bizarre nature of the Zone of Silence. A missile carrying radioactive material, launched from White Sands Missile Base in New Mexico, mysteriously malfunctioned as it flew over the area. Oddly, the missile's flight path was not supposed to take it near the zone. However, in mid-air it inexplicably changed course, as if pulled by some unknown force, towards the Zone of Silence. It eventually crashed within the region. This piqued the interest of the United States Army, who launched an investigation. Upon entering the zone, the Army realized none of their equipment functioned properly. Further examination led them to conclude that technologies like TV, radio, and satellite signals do not work reliably there. This was when they officially designated the location as the Zone of Silence due to the communication and electronic disruptions experienced within its borders. While scientists have studied the Zone of Silence for decades without definitively explaining the anomalies, the mysteries don't end there. Multiple reports over the years have described sightings of 3 unusual individuals frequenting the area. They appear human but have uncanny qualities. 2 are male and 1 female, described as extremely attractive and tall, with bright blonde hair. They are always politely described. Ranchers were among the first to notice the trio, sometimes approaching to request water from time to time. When asked where they were from, strangely, they would reply, "From above," adding another layer of intrigue. Even after considerable research, scientists have been unable to fully explain the technological disturbances and unique phenomena reported within this baffling region. One of the most well-known encounters came from a scientist working at the nearby Biosphere Research Station. While on an evening walk through the Zone of Silence, he unexpectedly became lost. Then, seemingly emerging from thin air, the 3 tall, blonde individuals appeared and helped guide the disoriented scientist back to his facility. When he turned to thank them, they had vanished without a trace. Their mysterious appearance and disappearance added further mystery to reports of the enigmatic trio that have been witnessed in this bizarre region. Another intriguing sighting occurred in 1978, when a news team was in the area filming a story about the Zone of Silence. As they drove through the region, they too became lost amidst the intense heat, with dwindling food and water. One passenger spotted 3 figures on the roadside, but the driver claimed not to see anyone, so they drove on. Minutes later, the passenger insisted he saw the trio again and demanded the driver to stop. This time, the driver was able to see 3 tall, blonde individuals, 2 men and a woman, oddly dressed for the desert conditions. They politely provided directions to the curious news crew. Given the individuals were alone in the wilderness, the team offered them a ride, but they declined. As the news crew drove off and looked back, the strange trio had inexplicably vanished into thin air, as if by magic. On October 13, 1975, a man named Ernesto and his wife, Josefina Diaz, drove into the zone in their new truck. They wanted to find unique rocks and fossils there. But suddenly, they saw a big storm coming. They packed their things quickly and tried to drive away, but the ground turned soft and muddy because of the rain. Their truck got stuck. While they were trying to free their truck, two very tall men, wearing yellow coats and hats, came up to them. Despite the rain, the men looked calm and friendly. They offered to help push the truck out of the mud. Ernesto and Josefina got back into the truck, and the men pushed it until it was free. Soon, the truck was back on solid ground. When Ernesto got out of the truck to thank the men, they were gone. There were no footprints or signs to show where they went. Ernesto found it strange because the land was flat, and he couldn't understand how the men vanished without leaving any traces. Many people believed that these men were the same ones who were often seen in the area, but strangely, the woman who usually accompanied them wasn't there this time. Over the years, many people have seen tall, polite, and attractive blonde beings in the zone of silence. Some think they might be aliens pretending to be humans, or maybe humans from another universe or time. There have also been lots of reports of UFOs and strange lights in the sky. For example, in 1976, people in Talasabalos saw a massive flying object over 300 meters long. It was shaped like a rectangle and kept changing colors from green to white to blue. The craft made a loud humming noise, and the animals in the area acted strangely. Then, suddenly, the UFO disappeared when it entered the zone of silence. Ranchers often see glowing orbs in the sky here, and some visitors say they've seen desert bushes catch fire, even though it's not very hot. The zone of silence is also famous for meteor strikes, with so many meteors hitting here that it's one of the most hit places in the world. Even during some Apollo missions, rocket boosters crashed in the zone of silence, even though they shouldn't have, according to calculations. Many people believe this place might have an ancient portal to other dimensions. It's interesting to note that this location lines up almost perfectly with the Bermuda Triangle and the Egyptian pyramids on a map. Could it be that this part of the world holds secrets we still don't understand? Scientists still don't know what causes all the mysteries. Tall helpers and colorful lights keep appearing. No one can explain it with science alone. The zone of silence continues to puzzle everyone who studies it. We may never know all the answers, but the strange things make us think about what we don't understand in the universe. Is the invisible portal idea possible? Could other worlds exist alongside ours? Until the mysteries are solved, the zone of silence will keep amazing people with its weird events and beings. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.